Hello and welcome back to Hot Flash Happy Hour. I'm Tori.
And I'm Kat. Grab your cup of tea, glass of wine, or your fan because today's episode is heating up.
Today we're talking about the chaos of perimenopause, women's health in general, and why doctors haven't always been much help, and what's exactly happening in our bodies to cause these wild symptoms.
Basically, all the stuff no one has ever told us until we found ourselves in the middle of it going on. And what the heck is happening to me?
But before we dive in, Kat, let's catch up. What's been going on with you since the last episode?
Well, the last 2 weeks, I haven't really had anything exciting happen. I've been testing out all the new products that I've got. They seem to be working well, but I'm also focusing on, I guess, more whole foods to try and overcome the symptoms that I'm having without having to take all these tablets and healthy stuff. So it's been a bit of an up and down with how you feel with what you're doing. Do I stop it? Do I not? So it's been a little bit of all over the shop, but overall it's been a really good week. And now we've got school holidays starting. So even though Keely's homeschooling, she's at home. But it's been a pretty cruisy couple of weeks, but nothing sort of overly exciting to share from my end. Just, bit of research, I guess. Lots of research going on.
Didn't your son come to visit and bring back his fun dog?
Yes, my son came home from Coffs Harbour and he brought Buddy back, the golden retriever, who's gorgeous. But it was nice because we only had him for the weekend.
Yes.
He's gone back.
He's lovely in small doses.
Yeah, it was so great.
He is a gorgeous dog, but he's a lot because
Tyson's coming home for the long weekend next weekend, so that'll be a nice catch up as well. So probably more to share on the next one.
Well, for me, I since our last episode got to have a fun first experience. I went to the gynecologist, which I think is actually the first time I've ever gone to one, other than pregnancy, I guess, OB, like obstetrics/gynecology, but and unexpectedly had to have an endometrial biopsy.
Oh, that'd be a bit
creepy. So for those who don't know what that is, they stick a lovely instrument up into your uterus and they scrape the uterine wall. And it felt like having really bad period cramps. She did warn me. She said, this is going to feel like a really bad period cramp. And, yep, that's exactly it was so weird. It's like the minute she touched that side of my uterus, it was like, oh, that's a bit odd. And then I had some bleeding and some bad cramps for a few hours afterwards, but then it was all fine after that. So this all came about because I have an amazing GP who worries about me. I've had some issues with really low iron, although my iron levels aren't too bad at the moment. And she's been investigating why, obviously we need to figure out these things. So after I had an internal ultrasound, it came back showing that I had some uterine fibroids, which not too bad, a bulky uterus. So I love that term. I was like, oh, that's what a lovely way to describe it.
Mine was years ago enlarged.
Enlarged. No, now it's bulky.
Okay,
bulky uterus. And pelvic congestion syndrome, which I had never heard of and had to Google it. But it's kind of basically like having varicose veins, but in your pelvic region, apparently on the inside. So, which may or may not cause pain, but who knows? Apparently, again, they don't really know. So, she wasn't overly concerned, but given the bulky uterus, which essentially means I have a abnormally thick lining, she wanted to do a biopsy to make sure nothing nasty is going on. And she also mentioned if my periods are really bothering me, because they have been a lot more painful of late, they could try hormone therapy or even a hysterectomy. But I said I'd rather just wait and see how things go because it's not so bad yet. So, but she called me yesterday and thankfully the biopsy was all clear. So nothing nasty going on. So that's good. And then other than that, I'm actually currently a bit over 2.5 weeks into an 8-week fitness challenge. And to be honest, for me, it has confirmed that eating well and exercising really, really helps with those pesky menopause symptoms. Prior to starting, I was not feeling so great. I had body aches and just felt really fatigued. Now I'm feeling a lot better. I have way less inflammation in my body. I can see my face is less puffy. I'm sleeping so much better. And I'm actually premenstrual at the moment and I've barely noticed it. Where I usually feel like crap and get bad cramps even before it starts. And then, so clean eating and exercise really does actually help. But we'll talk a bit more about that later.
Yeah. And that's like I've sort of started up taking the dog for a walk in the mornings now And I've actually been leaving my phone at home. So not even normally I listen to music or anything, but then you get all the notifications. So I've been leaving the phone at home. And for me, it's just been a slow walk to gradually up the exercise since my hip hop. But definitely getting out the fresh air, changing up the routine helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it clears the mind and kind of gets you out of your head a little bit as well. So
leaving that phone behind sometimes is actually a really great idea because you can switch off.
You kind of leave it and the first thought is, oh my God, what's going to happen if someone rings, or, you know, life stops. But it's okay. It's actually you come home and when you leave your phone at home, there's no missed calls. So the exercise, definitely, even building up, you don't have to be full on doing it. It's just more about clearing the mind, moving the body, even if it's just a little bit. Yeah. And it just changes the way you feel through the day.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. But enough of us. So let's dive into today's topic. For decades, women's health, especially around perimenopause and menopause, has been massively under-researched. Most medical studies were done on men, and women were always considered too complicated because of our hormones.
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Our hormones are what makes us complicated, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knew? And let's be honest, menopause has also been kind of a taboo subject. So people just didn't talk about it, but things are changing.
Yeah. So it was always just dismissed as a natural part of aging, which, yes, it is, but it's also a real medical stage that can have serious health impacts on our heart, bones, brain, sleep, mood, everything if not managed properly.
Yeah. So for years and years, women have been suffering in silence, not even just realising what they were expecting was hormonal or stress or age. Because it dives into it. There's so much.
Yeah, so much. And it's not just anecdotal. There's research showing that historically women were routinely excluded from clinical trials, as we said before, and they didn't even test period products with actual human blood until 2023. Yeah, like before that it was like saline or water or, you know, which is not the same. And they've actually since found that many period products don't actually live up to what they should be, and you know they're not really a good indicator of heavy bleeding or whatever because they weren't actually made for blood.
Yeah.
So odd, but yes. So anyway, many doctors get little or no formal training on perimenopause or women's health in general. This means women often go to their GP saying, I can't sleep, I'm anxious, I'm having hot flushes, my periods are all over the place. And instead of getting real answers, they're just told to deal with it or handed antidepressants. This is slowly starting to change, though, thankfully. I know my own experience, going back to just a general women's health thing, I was diagnosed with postnatal depression after having my second child. I personally felt like I was out of whack, and it especially got worse after I went back on the pill. But I was just handed some antidepressants, which didn't really get to the root cause of what was going on. I had a horrible time for a few years, trying many different types of hormonal contraceptives. I then went back. I started getting severe anxiety again, and my GP at the time said, it's probably a hormonal imbalance, but here, just take these antidepressants again. So, okay, cool. Wow. Could we not address the hormonal imbalance? But apparently not. So I then fell pregnant with my third. That was after I decided to go off the pill and stop taking antidepressants. And then I never took a hormonal contraceptive ever again, and I've had no issues with anxiety since, other than the pesky little bits that we get occasionally now due to perimenopause. But thankfully I now have an amazing GP, and I know that she would investigate hormone levels and everything else ever before just handing me a pill, which is good. Yeah. How about you, Kat? What about kind of experiences have you had?
I've only had a couple, thank God. One was, I think my daughter was, I can't remember, she was only very young, but I just felt my body felt out of whack. I didn't know if I had low iron. I was a little bit tired, but it just, I didn't feel right in the system. I wasn't depressed. So I went to the GP, and he basically said, I went to find out if I could get a blood test, and he was like, I don't think we need to do a blood test. You had one, 6 months ago. You're probably just tired and depressed. So I kind of walked out before he even suggested any antidepressant pills, and that. I was just a bit disgusted and thought, okay, so, you go home and you just try and deal with it yourself moving forward. And then but I had a better experience with a different GP where I was looking to have a Mirena, and that's where I had the hysterectomy. And she said, well, I'm not just going to give you a Mirena because it might just not work or, flush out. So she sent me to a specialist who then said I had enlarged uterus. Enlarged uterus. So, that was where I went down that avenue. And then just of recently, last year, I saw my GP to find out about menopause, if I was in menopause, and he basically said, we can't test for menopause, which is true, but he left it at that and suggested, what if we go on an injection to try and lose weight, and then that will help shift any menopause.
Yeah.
So then a friend recommended me down to a functional GP down in Sydney, and he tested the length of the pathology that he wanted was like amazing. And from that, he saw that, yes, I was actually in menopause, but also then the other side effects of that was pre-diabetic, all of these different things, So the inflammation in my body has been trying to deal with it. So there are functional GPs out there. You've just got to find it, and you just got to go with your gut. If you're not happy what you're being told, or if it's not outside the box, or it's, it's not part of their script, find the next one. Next one. Reach out and just, So no wonder so many women feel like they're navigating this in the dark, but thankfully women's voices are rising on, through social media, books, podcasts. Public figures are breaking the silence. So
you're seeing a lot more celebrities and things speaking out.
There's ways, and reach out and ask the question to different people, friends, family, if they know of a functional GP or someone that looks beyond what they're trained to do. Medical research is beginning to focus more on the midlife women, like from hormone replacement therapy, HRT options, to understanding how menopause impacts heart health, brain health, and longevity. There's a growing recognition that supporting women through this stage is not just all about comfort, it's about preventing long-term health risks. But they also looking at things like whole foods, natural, trying to work through it yourself if you're not getting the answers, to see if that, it does help, as opposed to going on HRT or any of the script-based products. You can only try.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the previous generations rarely ever talked about menopause or anything women's health related, really. It's just the way they were. I remember the only things that I ever really heard about menopause when I was younger was all negative. I'm talking about how women go crazy and get angry and, they're so all over the place. And there was never any talk about why this happened or what was really going on. And to be honest, I only actually heard the term perimenopause a few years ago. But our generation, the Gen Xers, and also the older millennials who are now starting to get into this stage as well, we want to talk about things and we want to know about what the heck is going on. So we like to have open and honest conversations about it, which, not dissing the previous generations, it just wasn't how they were brought up. We're a bit different and, we like to know things and not hide them under the carpet. So.
And also talk to your partner or your husband or boyfriend about it so that they understand why you're all of a sudden becoming a raving lunatic. I do. I let my husband know when I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I'm just really moody today. I just, can't be helped. And he's pretty understanding. I mean, he also, had 3 daughters, so he's already been there with that hormonal roller coaster. And but now he's dealing with my cougar puberty. As I don't know if anyone's heard that term, but I heard that a while ago. And I kind of love that term to describe perimenopause, because it is kind of like going through puberty again, but just in a different way. Yeah.
So, just with much more wisdom.
Yeah, that's it.
So we'll talk a little bit more about perimenopause and what happens. So, so as I just said, it's, more recently I'd call it Cougar Puberty, but it's basically the transition period before menopause, and it usually starts in your 40s, but it can happen in your late 30s. Hormones, mainly estrogen and progesterone, start fluctuating wildly.
So basically a hormonal roller coaster without a seatbelt.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not hang on for the ride, it's just let's go.
Just let's go. That's right. And some months may feel normal and others are completely chaotic. Your periods can come closer together, further apart, heavier, lighter, for those of you that still get periods. It can be totally unpredictable, and these fluctuations are what trigger all the other symptoms.
So that explains why I can be totally fine one week and the next week I'm crying over a toothpaste commercial. Or the ads come on and the family can see me tearing up and they're like, are you serious? I'm like, don't judge me. Don't judge. I can watch an ad and it can be like, oh my God, super.
I think the last time I was ever like that was when I was pregnant. So it's kind of, yeah. Like I've always been someone who would tear up at like a sad movie or, yeah, but you're right. Like sometimes you get over emotional about silly things.
But mine also goes to as much as I can eat really well and then I can feel great. And then the next day I get up and I'm like, why do I feel bloated? What have I eaten? Like it's a switch. It's like there's a switch that's going off and on.
Yep.
On the daily, it's off and on. So, yeah, we just got to ride that roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, we do. So, just give a bit more info about what those hormones actually do. So, estrogen plays a crucial role in the body beyond reproduction, affecting both physical and non-physical aspects of health. As estrogen levels decline during menopause, several changes can occur. So, your bone health. So, estrogen helps maintain bone density. So its decrease can lead to loss of bone mass and increasing risk of osteoporosis, which is, can be quite hectic. Heart health. So estrogen supports cardiovascular function by protecting the blood vessels and regulating your cholesterol levels. So lower estrogen levels can raise the risk of heart disease. Your skin and hair. Estrogen keeps skin elastic and hair healthy. So with reduced estrogen, women may experience dry skin. I notice my skin is definitely much more dry. I never used to have dry skin. Now I do. Thinning hair and sometimes brittle nails. So.
I've recently been lathering the body up with a body oil, and it's made such a huge difference. Ooh. Yeah, so it's the creams I find it'll soak it up beautifully, and then it just you look down and it's like, oh my God, it's just all
dry again,
scaly and dry. So it may even mean that try a body oil of some sort. Works amazing, and that's helping. It's soaking and lathering it and loving it. So
nice. Might have to give that one a go, Kat.
Also, I just want to pause there for a minute also and just say that all the symptoms and that Tori's giving, we're not medically advising or anything like that. This is just from our personal research and opinions.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely is. Yeah, things that we have researched. But, yes, we are not medical professionals. So, yeah, we should probably always get to that disclaimer in the beginning, don't we? Estrogen is also responsible for your mood regulation. So it impacts neurotransmitters like serotonin, which helps to regulate your mood. So as estrogen declines, you may experience mood swings, irritability, increased anxiety, things like that. And then, so Kat, the other pesky hormone is?
Progesterone.
Yes.
It also plays a significant role during the menstrual cycle and affects bodily functions. Its decline in menopause can lead to both physical and cognitive changes. So, with the cognitive changes, you walk in the room and you forget why you walked in. Mm-hmm. I can sit there and looking in thin air till I realise what I was actually wanting to think about, or the thought that I had previously had that just immediately disappeared.
Yep.
It was gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sleep patterns. So progesterone promotes relaxation and restful sleep. As the levels decrease in many women, they experience sleep disruptions, including insomnia or waking up frequently during the night. Where you wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and have the weirdest thoughts about something that you should have done or haven't done, or the what ifs or the things that you can't control. They come in at like 2 or 3 in the morning.
It's great.
And things like that just interrupt. Or even with the hot flushes, the blankets on, the blankets off, freezing cold, you're boiling hot. So that's another thing that you've got to explain to your partner as well too, in the middle of the night. And they're like, what is going on? One minute they're sleeping with the freezer, then they're sleeping in the oven. So that can interrupt not only your sleeping pattern, but your partner's as well.
Yeah.
Breast changes, there's lower progesterone levels can lead to changes in the breast tissue, such as tenderness or a decrease in size. Emotional health, progesterone also affects the mood regulation. So regulation. So the lower levels can contribute to feelings of anxiety or depressive symptoms, amplifying emotional swings that may already be present due to the estrogen fluctuations.
So you've got both of them working against you in the whole emotional stuff.
And, your partner will come up and say, what's wrong? And then you just bite their head off. So maybe it's the time in this part of life where you just give them a bit of pre-warning,
Yeah.
I may not be acting like myself, but there's nothing actually really wrong in the moment. It's just where we're at in our headspace.
Yeah, just in a mood.
Yeah, in a mood. Ride with the mood.
Yeah.
The stress response, progesterone helps balance the body's response to stress as it declines. Women find themselves more susceptible to feeling overwhelmed or anxious in stressful situations.
Yeah.
And again, it can be that you're making something out of nothing, but not on purpose.
No. There are, you do find that perhaps things that you never really used to bother you or you'd find stressful, you just get overwhelmed and feel a bit more stressed about things. And that's just kind of when you need to sit back and just take some deep breaths.
Yep.
And just go, you know what, it's not that big a deal.
But it can also have the opposite effect too. Like at this age, we are more like, we don't give a shit.
Yes.
Really, you're stressing about that. It's like, seriously, let it go.
Yeah.
When you get to this age, doesn't matter.
That's kind of what I'm finding more and more. I'm finding not so much that I'm getting more stressed about things. I think for me it's more that, I'm just like,
why are you stressing about this?
Like,
it's not drama. My big saying in the house at the moment is, we don't need this drama.
Yeah.
You've got a 13-year-old who's going through her hormonal changes at the moment and everything is a drama and her arms in the air and everything like that. I'm like, it's okay. We don't need to stress about that. No. Let's just breathe. So you're copying kind of as you did with your girls, but now I'm copying it, or hubby and the boys are copying at both ends of the spectrum. My end and the teenage moodiness.
Oh, gosh, I kind of feel a bit for your house.
It's okay. We don't do drama.
We don't do drama, That's it. So, all these imbalance leads to some pesky common symptoms that most people know about. And then there are some that are much less known, but we'll talk about a few of them. So your hot flushes and your night sweats. Now, I thankfully so far, touch wood, have not really experienced a hot flush as yet. I have had some night sweats, but not too severe. No, and that's what I keep thinking. Have I had one? I was like, everyone goes, no, you'll know when you've had one. And so, thankfully so far that has not happened to me. And it might not. Like, all these things don't necessarily happen to everyone either. But,
I thankfully only had them for a short period of time. Thank goodness. I'm normally a cold frog. I love the summer, but I can't do winter well. But in saying that, it was summer when I was having the hot flushes, so that was interesting. But it's like, for those that haven't had it, it's like, and I used to watch my mum suffer for many years. So I thank God that I didn't have it for that long. But it's like an internal fire, and sometimes it can start from your feet and work all the way up. But for myself, it was just internally around the chest and stomach area, and it's just like your insides are on fire. There's no other way to explain it. And then all of a sudden, the fan, you need the fan, like you're just trying to fan yourself. It's horrendous. And I'm just really thankful that, touch wood, it only happened for a short time. But you definitely know when you're having it, because you'll feel like your body inside. It's like inside is on fire.
I've heard for some women too. I've heard some women say they also get this like weird tingling and almost like their nerves are on fire. So
there's no one way,
no,
but you just not. When they say you'll know.
And things you can do is obviously wear breathable clothing. Try to avoid hot environments if you're really really suffering from them, which isn't always easy. Drink lots of cold water to help cool your body down.
You see a lot of women walk around with a fan.
I've seen that. So
maybe even trying to put your feet in some cold water. I don't know if that will help. But whatever works, whatever you need to go with it.
That's right. And as we already said before, mood swings and anxiety. You may feel more emotional about things, be crying over something ridiculous. Some women do feel a lot more rage and anger. I personally have not really had much of that, but I know that some women have. Or you might just find yourself feeling anxious for no reason, or feel more stressed about things that never used to bother you. But I mean, personally, I've never really been a super angry person, so maybe that's, I don't know. But I can feel more annoyed about things at times. But it's real. I just kind of go, get over yourself and what are you worried about this shit for? And then sleep issues we kind of talked about a little before, which as we said, you can wake up early hours of the morning and you're just ruminating over stupid things or stressing about things, and you're like, well, why is this happening now? But
things that are not going to matter in the morning.
That's right. And then we've got the dreaded brain fog.
Yes.
The brain fog is definitely one thing I know I have had. And the reason is because estrogen helps your brain use energy efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
So your fluctuations can make you forgetful or unfocused.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's been me the last probably 6 months, 4 months. And that explains, just that, because I've always been, I felt like I've always been kind of the brain's on, switched on, super focused and all that. But I've been really unfocused probably the last 6 months, which has been a real struggle for me. I think when you're not like that, it's really hard to deal with. And that's probably my biggest bugbear with it. Is the unfocused, trying to be focused, but the brain is not working. And then that is explained after I got my blood test back that my estrogen levels are really low. So there you go. But it's trying to work through that, how you're working through that. And then my GP's given me which I've actually just run out of this week and I haven't refilled it, it's a script based, but he said it's more natural to one of the more natural ones to the HRT, I guess, the better ones. So then my head went to, do I really need it? But I don't know, because it takes months for it to kick in. That's the problem. So when you get all these HRTs, it's not an instant thing. It takes like a good 6 months. And I'm like, I can't wait 6 months.
I need my brain to work now.
I need my brain now.
I know. Yeah, I definitely was having issues with focus and things. At the moment, I'm not too bad, which is good. I do still find, though, that I've always had a really good memory, and that I do find sometimes, like, someone I haven't seen for a while, and I'm there going, crap, what's their name? I know your face. I know what is your name? I know it. And, and you feel awful because you're like, you know this person. So little things like that really annoy me. But, yeah, my focusing is kind of up and down. But I definitely went through a stage probably a few months ago where it was so hard to focus and be motivated to sit. Whereas, the same as Kat, I used to be someone I could just sit and do work on a computer for hours and hours and just get shit done.
But with us, it was good. We're always focused on the same path. Now it feels like when I'm up, Tori's down. When Tori's up, I'm down. So we're kind of doing this balancing act.
I would agree
One's
with
up,
that.
one's down. I'm down at the moment, so Tori's focused. But, in the next month, it might be the other way around. Like, it's ridiculous.
Can we not sync? If we could sync, that'd be great. But,
and then Tori's comes in and I'm like, oh, I'm just not focused. But
she's not.
Not for not wanting to. It's just, it's a real struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now we know that when I walk into a room and forget why I'm there, I can just say, sorry, estrogen has left the building today.
Hey, we're back. We just had a slight technical issue, which you probably won't notice because I'm going to try and edit. But for some reason, my phone that was filming us got a bit too hot. Don't know why. It's having hot flash.
Exactly.
Anyway, so body changes, your metabolism shifts and your weight distribution changes, especially your visceral fat, which is like the fat that helps protect your organs. So it can be good, but if you have too much of it, it's actually not good for you, and that's where you're at high risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, those kind of things. And unfortunately for women in perimenopause, that seems to be where the fat decides to go, which is why we do have to be more conscious of what we eat and everything else. So it tends to be more around your belly, your midline, like your middle part of your body. Sorry, I can't talk right now. And then other parts of body changes is you might find you have a lot more. And this is something that I think a lot of people don't realise is related to perimenopause, is the body aches and the joint pain. And they are actually, a lot of people think, it's just a sign of getting older. No, it's actually just symptoms. Could be. Like, obviously there's other things going on there, but it's often a sign of perimenopause. And that's something I know I had.
Sugar cravings, like you just... Sugar cravings get really bad for some reason. So you're fighting those as well.
It's like your body's like working against you, going, we need all this sugar, and then it just puts all that lovely visceral fat on. And but no, it's and I know I actually, before I started this this challenge I'm doing, I was craving, and I'm not normally one to crave sweet things, and I was craving so much sweet stuff. So probably good that I decided to start this challenge and eat more healthy, because it wasn't good. It was, I was craving it so much. It's crazy, like cakes and things, like, you know, just like things I wouldn't normally crave. But yeah, so that's just a few. I mean, there's obviously way more symptoms. Like we could be here all day. You can. There's so many. But
So with new research and findings, the good thing is that, you know, research is finally catching up because women are speaking out now and there's so much out on social media and, you know, everywhere. What the recent studies are showing is that hormonal fluctuations in perimenopause can increase the risk for heart disease. So monitoring your heart health is crucial. Brain imaging studies suggest early cognitive changes can occur, but lifestyle interventions like exercise and sleep management, they can help as well. Again, not clinical, no medical advice, but from the research and, you know, women, I guess, sharing their thoughts, opinions, experience. There's things out there like magnesium. There's creatine, which has been, you know, known to have good for cognitive health. Things like that.
And
but again, speak to your GP, you know, or your nutritionist or anyone with a medical background. So sleep and mood interventions, including cognitive behavioural therapy and targeted lifestyle changes, they're proving effective.
So one thing that's been discovered over the years, which was kind of already known, but they're looking more into it, is that bone density loss starts much earlier in women than women would expect. You know, you always picture an old frail lady, but we actually start losing our bone mass quite early, around I think mid-30s. So making preventative care really essential. Midlife women are at a much higher risk of osteoporosis. This is why it's so very important for women to do weight-bearing exercise. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to join a gym and go and lift heavy weights unless you want to. I like to, not everyone does. But you can just do body weight exercises, although having some form of extra weight is going to help, you know, strength training doesn't just increase your muscle mass, it increases your bone mass. So good to strengthen your muscles, but also in doing that, you are strengthening your bones and you'll be at a lower risk of things like osteoporosis. And also what we eat at this stage in life is really important, as Kat and I have already mentioned, but we'll say it again, like I'm doing an 8-week fitness challenge, and part of that is a meal plan. So I'm mainly eating whole foods, not much of anything processed, lean meat and fish, non-starchy carbs, eggs, lots of veggies, no alcohol. Not only does all this help with weight management, especially your visceral fat, but it has helped reduce inflammation in my body a lot, and I feel so much better and less tired. Like, I'm tired, but not that weird abnormal fatigue. And I'm sleeping so much better, which is probably helping with the not feeling fatigued. But
agree there with that one. So finally, there's science backing up what women have been saying for decades. These symptoms are real and there are ways to manage them. Just going, sort of circling back on what Tori said about the meal plans, the whole foods, there's so many free recipes, content, so much content on Google that you can find. You don't have to pay for anything if that's not what you're after. You know, you can ask ChatGPT what a good, you know, personalised plan for yourself would be, eating plan. You know, you just put in there that you're going through menopause or perimenopause, your joints are aching, what would be a good exercise routine to do. You can have a free ChatGPT account, or you can get so many free plans through Google. You don't have to pay.
No, there's plenty of free follow-along exercise programs on YouTube. Like, just go and have a look. Like, there's so many options out there. So, you know, or you can just, you know, do simple things yourself. Make sure you go for a walk every day. You know, just try to keep active if you can.
And also grounding, just get out in the grass in your bare feet. You know, it might sound silly to some, but just take a couple of minutes out for yourself as well to clear your mind, get out of your head, and get some fresh air with some breathing there as well can help.
Or, you know, and if you feel up to it, even a meditation, because I found that meditation has really helped. I never used to be much of a meditator. I don't do it every day, but when I do it, I do find it just helps just recenter everything and just let the mind quiet down and I just feel really relaxed.
And again, there's so many free ones out there. And if you don't want to do a long meditation, You can do a 3-minute, a 2-minute, a 5-minute, like anything that just helps clear that busy brain.
Yes. Yeah.
So knowledge is power, and being informed helps women take control. From advocating with doctors to making lifestyle tweaks. Yeah. So there's plenty to manage it.
There is. And on the flip side, though, while we're seeing our GPs and other professionals to recognise the issues women can face from perimenopause, we also don't want them to be complacent and just dismiss what is happening to women because of perimenopause. Same with us women ourselves. If something doesn't feel right, your symptoms are really affecting you, then seek medical advice. It may be perimenopause or it may be something else. Either way, there are things that can help.
Yeah. So I guess the big takeaway for us today is that perimenopause is a natural stage, or menopause. Your symptoms are real and you are not alone. And while the research is growing, we can also support ourselves through lifestyle and just talking about it openly, whether it's in groups, whether it's with a friend who's going through the same thing. There is a lot of support if you can't get it where, in the home.
Yeah. And good idea to start tracking your symptoms, pay attention to your body, and don't be afraid to advocate for yourself to your doctor. Ask them what they know about perimenopause. If you're worried about anything and not sure if it is normal, please seek please seek medical advice. I'm going to blame my estrogen.
And remember that you're not just surviving this stage, you're becoming a new version of you, hot flushes and all.
Yeah, this time of your life doesn't have to be scary, negative thing. Sure, you'll go through some crap, but just remember you are leveling up, and on the other side, you'll be an even more awesome version of you. Yeah, and wiser.
And what did you call it? Cougar
Puberty.
Cougar Puberty. I like that one. New name for it. Well, thanks for hanging out with us for this Hot Flush Happy Hour today, guys. Don't forget to subscribe or share with a friend. Follow us on our social media at Inspired Actions Co. Check out our website, inspiredactionsco.com, where you can download a free copy of our menopause workbook, which has a lot of helpful information and ways to track your symptoms as well.
Oh, yes.
System
and
symptoms.
Yes, both. On our website too, you can also enroll in our upcoming workshop that we're having called Becoming Her, which is just a little workshop about how to move forward, get unstuck, feel better about yourself in this stage of life, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Find out where to, what is your next, what is it for you for your next stage of this life.
So we should have another episode in a couple of weeks also, depending on how we're going. Not sure what the
who's up and who's down.
Who's up? Yeah, and I'll be like, Kat, come on, and she'll be like, no. Or she'll other way around, Be like, Tori, where's the script? Don't know. So, but until then, keep your fans handy and your spirits high.
Take care.
All right. See you next time.